Clearly, you know an awful lot about the music industry, and I know in the UK the Ed Darragh show famously ran the Jedward campaign to stay in the X Factor back in 2009. Ed, what did these guys actually bring to the pop world? Because I have to say, for some strange reason, I even find myself absolutely amazed by them and loving them each and every time they get out there on the TV or on air. You know, they're just brilliant. Did you follow the X Factor from start to finish?
No, absolutely. And most people in the UK, when it comes on the air in the UK, it is a huge programme, huge appeal for various different reasons. And also, as a talent scout, I would always like to watch those kind of programmes. Not that I always agree with the way they're sort of they take on those that aren't really that talented. But I thought that when they came on that Saturday night, their first audition in front of the crowd, that's when they had moved into doing auditions in front of the crowd, or you'll remember they used to do them in the rooms, just in a private room with the four judges. I just thought that Simon's reaction especially to John, was unbelievably...
Oh, it was appalling.
Yes.
I have to be honest. They came out on stage, and, I mean, I was watching the show, and when they came out, I was a bit, oh, God. You know, they had the bow ties, they had the suits, the Converse, you know, and they were coming out on stage, and they had the hair spiked up, and you were kind of waiting for something absolutely brutal to come out of their mouths, you know, but they just entertained from the time they opened their mouth to the time they left the stage, and I just felt Simon Cowell just completely shot them down.
Well, I think it was John. He had the arrows for. He just, there are people out there, and sometimes we're like that. We either like someone, we don't like someone. But in that particular instance, I just think that it was a bit harsh. But it's something that has, will be on tape for life for Simon to see the reaction of that, which was much the same as was his reaction to Susan Boyle. The instant, but I mean, they've gone on to prove. I mean, what it is they bring to the arena is positivity. They're entertainers. They'll end up as TV presenters. I know that they're going to present Extra Factor this year while Ollie Murs is on tour. So, I mean, TV is where they're heading. They're not the greatest singers on the planet, but there again, nor were the Monkees,
Well, yeah, that's true.
But what they are is they are entertaining. And if they bring a bit of light, and they have a huge fan base, and very much kids love them. It's not for people over 14 to be into Jedward. It's far and few between. It really is. They're kids entertainers, and they're absolutely fantastic at what they do. They're not singers, but they are great performers. You know, they just turn it on. I mean, the boing, 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 bounce, bounce, how they keep going. Yeah. But it'll be interesting to see how they present Extra Factor this year. I think they will be probably very, very good while Ollie's away on holidays, and then they will probably keep them on for the season. And that's where their niche is. They're going to television.
Absolutely. I always thought that they were good, but I was never really a fan, if I'm going to be honest. And I went to see Westlife in Crow Park there about a year or two ago, and Jedward were backing them, and I have to say, I'm 26 years of age, and they came out and they just had the crowd buzzing. They went out on stage, they had us saying stupid things, they had us jumping up and down. They were just absolutely hilarious, and they just gave you that kick buzz that you needed for the concert to start. You know, it was just, they were absolutely brilliant. You know, they are pure entertainers, there's no doubt there. Also, I mean, even though they didn't win the Eurovision, they're still worth more now than they ever were before.
Well, the Eurovision is an interesting element, really, because it has changed so drastically. There wasn't even a reference to the songwriter that won, that wrote the winning track for Sweden. So, and there was a time in Eurovision where when the performers would come up, you'd see who wrote the song, because it is the Eurovision Song Contest. So putting that aside, I think that there's very little chance that Ireland or the UK will see light there for a very, very long time. There's a good reason to go into Eurovision, and that is for the PR. And the boys certainly did their homework there. They established such a network while they were there for the week. They have, huge amount of work coming in right across Europe. I think Louis' phone hasn't stopped since the minute they landed in Baku, and so they have got a huge amount of work ahead of them, and they just go on to defy science, really, at the end of the day, because they're just good at what they do. They're just good at what they do.
Absolutely. Ed, you're in the industry for 35 years. I mean, have you reached the stage now where you just want to put your hand up and say, cut, and just call it a day, sit back and say, I've done pretty much absolutely everything that needs to be done in show business? You know, is it something that, I mean, do you ever get sick of it?
No, I think as a writer and a producer, and being lucky enough to be in it this long and carry on doing what I do, we don't see it as work. I've never seen this as work at all, regardless whether it was RTE or wherever I was working. Extraordinary moments where you get casted for, where I got casted for Educating Rita. You learn so much from that end as well, working with Michael Caine and Julie Walters, and that's going back 30 years. No, I think freelancers in this industry, and the reason why we're freelance, is that we absolutely are passionate about what we do, even as writers and as producers. And we're working on a current production now for Sky Television, and it's just, every day is different. Every single day is different, and I'm thoroughly enjoying every moment of it.
That's fantastic. That's absolutely brilliant. Now, clearly the industry has changed since when, you know, from when you were starting out yourself, and there's a backlog of people trying to get into the entertainment industry, whether it be in music, broadcasting or television, you know, and there's so many courses out there now and options for them to do. But you're talking a good up to £1,000 to actually get in and even get at a starting point before you know, choose this option as a career. What advice would you give the younger generation out there at the moment who are looking to get into the industry and are, you know, kind of caught now where they have to go and do the courses that cost 900 to £1,000? What advice would you give?
It's a tough one. When we started out, we just came with our experience. I mean, even when I joined television, it was more about the telephone book that you had and the chutzpah, the wherewithal to go out with the microphone and interview people and bring back results to radio. And likewise to television, just being able to book the acts, being able to ring celebrities and get them on various shows. And that's going back again, you know, if you're looking at the late 80s, early 90s. However, over the 20 years, television became ever more so popular. There must be a couple of 100,000 TV channels out there now. This television is obviously online as well. You're only as good as you can prove to be. And I think that when you're looking at trying to get yourself known or be picked up by producers, broadcasters and networks, you've just got to be absolutely brilliant. You've got to be a thoroughly good reader, you've got to be an amazing researcher, and you've got to have wonderful personality and a certain amount of academic about it. Whether the courses are fair to everybody in terms of, can everybody who does a course end up on radio or television? No. No. And it's a heartache of an industry for that purpose. And sometimes, and I'm not going to point any accusations at any of the charlatans that are out there. There are some people running courses, not just in Ireland, but certainly in the UK as well, that are running courses for people who will never make radio or never make television. They'll never get a job because they haven't got what the it factor is. And the it factor is also very important. Being a good listener is brilliant little skill to have, as you'll know yourself as a broadcaster.
Absolutely, yeah.
And you know that's the simplest side of it, but the harder side is really being a terrific reader, knowing what's going on politically, knowing what's going on entertainment-wise. And I mean, if you're following music, you need to know everything that's going on currently. So it's a tough one. I would say to hone one's skill is just to get your equipment organised first and get out there and do it. And I think you've done a very good road there by going into hospital radio, which I've always had great admiration for, because this is where an awful lot of big radio stars have started out on hospital radio and community radio.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree with that, Ed, because so many people are out there now, finger and thumbs, who are dying to get into the industry, And I think that was a good piece of advice he gave there, because they really don't know where to turn. And going on, you know, a 3-week course for €700, or, you know, a 5-week course for 1,000, you know, up to $1,000, that just seems like they think that's the only option they have. So that was a brilliant bit of advice, Ed. Thanks a mil for that. I can see Dex there in the background. I can hear him there barking away.
Yes, he is. The Dex is watching the comings and goings. We've got people coming into the studio very shortly.
Brilliant. I won't keep you any longer, Ed. Thank you very much, and it's been an absolute pleasure to have you here today. I know you're a busy woman, and much appreciate your time that you've given me.
Fantastic. Well, really loving your show, and we'll come back and chat when we're ready to go on air for Sky Television.
Oh, brilliant. That would be absolutely fantastic. Thanks a million, Ed.
Have a lovely day out there, and love to all your listeners.
Absolutely. Thanks a million, Ed. Take care.
Okay, bye-bye.